Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about why it's important to be grateful even in the worst times, in the worst situations, and whenever you feel like you're not making progress, whenever you feel frustrated, whenever you're projecting too far into the future. It's really important to come back to the present moment and realize the progress, realize the profundity of the progress that you've made so far in your life, right? So, there's times where, especially personally, I project way too far into the future, or I get frustrated because there's things that I'm working on. Maybe I'm not achieving the kind of results I want in the amount of time that I want, or maybe I'm trying to achieve so much in such a short span of time that I'm losing my sense of peace, and I'm getting anxious, I'm getting frustrated, and in turn that ruins my joy, that ruins my happiness, that ruins my just sense of groundedness in the world. So, in life, like for example, there's times, like I said, where I'm projecting into the future, but there'll be times I'll have to be mindful and look and say, wait a second, I'm trying to rush so hard, so fast to get to this thing, to get to this destination, to get X amount of dollars, to put on X amount of weight, to achieve X result. But I'm not even grateful for the progress that I've made in the past year or the past 2 years, right? Or I'm not even present with what I have. I'm not grateful for the things that I take for granted on a day-to-day basis, right? And, as cliche as, gratitude is in our modern day, it's hard to practice. Like like the cliche of be grateful. You hear it all the time. Be grateful, be grateful, be grateful, right? But like in practice, it's very difficult to accept being grateful for what you have. Like we're so focused on the future. We're so focused on the result. We're so focused on the outcome that it's like the process or the progress that we've made so far is not even in our eyesight. We're not even thinking about that. And, I'm not here to say that you should always, that you shouldn't project into the future or, make everyday strides to be better, to achieve, the results you want. Obviously, I talk about that all the time in my videos, how you should strive to achieve results and make daily improvements, right? But to the extent that it destroys your sense of well-being, to the degree that it destroys your peace of mind, your joy, your groundedness in the moment, and it gets you stuck in your head, or it gets you overthinking, or it gets you frustrated, that's when you have to come back and say, wait a minute, I'm doing really good right now. I'm just getting anxious. And in that mindful state of knowing that you're anxious or you're frustrated, you can say, okay, cool. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to look at what I have. I'm going to be grateful. And I'm going to ground myself in the moment. Maybe I'll do some meditation. Maybe I'll do some reflection and smile at the things that I have, right? So maybe you're not making progress in the areas of life that you deem important, but you can be grateful for little things, right? You can be grateful for your house. You can be grateful that you're alive. You can be grateful for, heat and electricity and the internet. Like here in Florida, we had a hurricane like 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And I think it was like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, we didn't have any electricity, any running water, any heat, no internet. And, in that moment, in those, 2 weeks, during those 2 weeks, I was like, wow, we really take for granted the technology, the industry that we have in our everyday lives. And, it's like, just having a cell phone is just having internet, able to watch interviews, able to watch podcasts, able to having the ability to learn is an opportunity, and it's something we overlook, right? It's something we just take for granted, right? So I'm not saying, you always want to just be grateful and this and that. There's going to be times where you're ungrateful. There's going to be times where you're anxious. There's going to be times where you're pissed off, angry, not satisfied with the results you're getting, right? And there's a healthy dose of that, right? You wanna generally assess if you're doing the right things, but sometimes you can be doing all the right things in life. Sometimes you can be eating, You can be eating the right food, the exact amount of calories. You can be saving the right amount of money. You can be making the right investments. You can be doing the right things in your business, and the results just aren't coming like you want. And in those moments of frustration, that's when you have to say, all right, you know what? I'm doing the best I can right now. But hey, guess what? I'm grateful for the progress I've made so far. I'm grateful for all the things I do have. And there's this technique, I don't know where, I think it originates from the Stoicism, but it's called negative visualization. So it's basically you'll sit down maybe, or you can just think of basically your life being blank. Imagine there's just nothing. Imagine you're just in an open space, floating with nothing around you, right? And then that negative visualization, you're visualizing things going away from you. For example, imagine if you didn't have your girlfriend. Imagine if you didn't have the amount of money you had. Imagine if you didn't have the house. Imagine if you didn't have electricity or heat or water. Or imagine all of these things that we take for granted. Imagine not having those, and imagine having nothing. And now you can sit and relish in the beauty of the things that you have, because you're wait, I do have all of those things. And when you do that, you bring your consciousness to the present moment, and you realize in that moment, wait, I have it really good right now. So yeah, I might be frustrated. I might be worried. I might be anxious. I might be, I might rush at times to get to X outcome or X result, but I have a lot of good things right now, and I've been making a lot of progress. So I'm okay. I'm doing all right. Life's pretty good, right? I'm just getting in my head, and I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself. And that's what we get too far ahead of ourselves. Sometimes we want to make those big leaps right away. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it can get to the extreme and cause us, like I said, unhappiness and destroy our peace of mind. So yeah, guys, you got to practice gratitude for obviously the little things, the basic things that we take for granted, but also, take gratitude and see gratitude for the progress that you have made in your life in the past 5 years. I think to myself, I'm 20, I'll be 24 actually this Friday. And 5 years ago, I think to myself, wow, I was in a college dorm. I didn't have any money. I was addicted to pornography. I didn't have any friends. It was cold. I was living in Massachusetts, right? I didn't have any investments. I didn't have a house. I didn't have a girlfriend. And I'm wow, now I have all of those things. 5 years later, I'm doing pretty good. So I'm wait, why am I rushing to get to the next mountain when I'm kind of already on the peak of a mountain in a way, right? So obviously I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but that defeats the point. I'm grateful for the progress I've made in the past 5 years. I'm grateful for all of the things that have came to me as a result of me putting in the work daily over months and years. And, that attitude and that sort of awareness and present understanding of those things is going to shift you into maybe a negative state, into just a more relaxed, peaceful, hey, I'm doing all right. I can take it, not necessarily take it easy, right? But hey, man, I don't have to hanker so hard for the things that I want, right? Because you can still want things, but the hankering and the needing and the outcome dependency is the problem. So when you can kind of trace that back and be grateful, then you become at least a little bit more at peace, and that's what we want. So yeah, that's it. That's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.